Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie, and this is going to be a weekly reading vlog. It is the week of Valentine's Day, so I do want to read some of the Valentine's Day novellas. I've read one of them so far, but I want to get to at least 2 or 3 this week. And then I am reading, I just started it last night, like a romance suspense or like a romance mystery by Devney Perry. I have heard a ton about this author. She actually just released her first romantasy book last year, I believe. And I think it was kind of hit and miss, but I've heard a lot about her. She's written a lot of books. There was like a list before the book got started, and I was like, oh wow, she has written a lot. But this is my first book from her. I think I've read a couple of her Christmas novellas, but I've never read a full-length book. I saw someone post about this on Instagram, and I was just kind of intrigued. So I picked it up last night after reading kind of a bad cheesy sports romance, and I'm really liking it. I got 15% of the way in, which is more than I thought I would get in, and I'm intrigued and really liking it, and I'm gonna read a chapter before I head downstairs and log on to work. I'll give you a quick overview. So the female main character, her dad just died, and he had a house in Montana, and she was kind of estranged from him. Her mom like picked her up and moved them away from the dad when she was like 6, I think. She used to visit in the summers, but she hadn't for a while. So she inherited this house in Montana, and so she's moving there for a few months, like 6 months, I think, to clean out the house and sell the house, and then she'll move back home or whatever. And she got a job teaching, taking over a maternity leave for a teacher in this town. It's like her first week at the house. She's about to go to bed, and she looks out the window and she sees a man like in a ski mask staring back at her. And so she calls the cops, and the sheriff comes out, and they can't really find any footprints or any proof that anyone was actually there. So they kind of like brush it off, and she's like mad about that. The sheriff is kind of, I don't know, he's like a little bit cold. And then going back to her teaching job, she's teaching math, and she did this kind of like review test to see where the kids were at, and like 50% of them failed. So obviously the school is behind and not, taking math as like seriously as they should. And one of the parents that was upset about the score of their kids' math test was the sheriff. He's a single dad, and his son is in her class. So there's just like, a lot that will be connecting them, because I think her issue at home is going to continue, and there's going to be some creep or some situation that's happening throughout the book, because it is like a mystery. And then also she is his son's teacher, and if his son can't get a good grade in math, he won't be able to play basketball, and I guess he's like good, whatever, I don't know. They're going to see a lot of each other for different reasons, and then I believe they're gonna fall in love, but I don't know. I mean, she thinks he's hot, and he thinks she's like the most beautiful girl he's ever seen, so they're obviously attracted to each other already. But yeah, I'm excited. It's actually really like gripping me, and I want to keep reading, so I'm gonna read another chapter and then get my Monday started. It's Tuesday. I'm on my lunch break at work and I just read a little bit. I'm 42% of the way in now to Bluebird Gold and I'm really liking this. I keep forgetting it's set in the 80s, but it is. And this like small town, in my head I'm picturing like Forks from Twilight, except it's in Montana, so it's like really snowy, but I'm picturing like that kind of vibe. And the main character is the sheriff and he's a little older than her and has a kid, and like I'm just like picturing like Charlie from Twilight vibes. And yeah, I'm really liking this. I think it's really good. There's like a hint of a mystery, like I mentioned, and that has been ramping up. There's been like an arson, a little fire at the female main character's shed. She's like staying at her dad's house. So yeah, I don't know, I'm really liking it. She is now just staying overnight at his house because there was that fire out at her land, and it's like 30 minutes outside of town, and he's like, you're not sleeping there. She asked for a ride into town and he just like assumed that she had a friend or something to stay with, but she didn't. And so he's like, where are you staying, when they're like already in town, like a 30-minute drive away. And she's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay at the motel. And he's like, oh, the motel's actually closed for like this month or whatever. And she's like, oh, can you just drive me back then? He's like, you're not staying at that house alone. So she's now staying in his guest room. So things are kind of moving. 42% of the way in. It's a short book. It's like 300 pages. So I only have like 25 pages until I'm halfway in, page like 150-ish. And yeah, it's going really well. I feel like this might kind of help my semi-reading slump. I just think with traveling and my anxiety has been very high. I'm not gonna get into it, but since our dog died, my anxiety has been like tripled. So yeah, I'm struggling a little bit, but this book is kind of getting me excited about reading again, and I'm listening to some of those Valentine's Day novellas. So I plan to listen to one on my drive home tonight, and I really liked the one I listened to yesterday, which I don't think I talked about. I listened to the Christina Lauren one, and it was actually really unique. Just like the first one I listened to, the plot was really unique. It was kind of like pen pals, but you don't exactly know who you're talking to. And yeah, it was really good. I gave 4 stars, and I usually really love the Christina Lauren novellas that they do in these collections. They do a really good job. Now I have to go get gas before I go back up to work though, so. Okay, I just got home, just finished the novella Time Will Tell. So good. This group of novellas for this Valentine's Day season are so good. That's my 3rd one. I'm gonna give it a 4-star. To get a 5-star in a novella is like, you really have to like wow me, because it's like an hour and a half of listening. But they're just such good little episodes of like a Valentine's Day romance. They're all so unique so far too. So this one, the 2 main characters, their grandmas were in love in like the 50s, and it was a secret, and they buried a time capsule. So then they're like both opening it together, and he lives in the UK and she lives in Canada. So they email for a while, and the emails are like really cute, and they get to know each other and like fall in love. And then I guess I don't want to spoil it. It's a novella, but like she goes over there and whatever. It's so cute. And like the grandma's story was so like heartwarming and kind of sad, and then like them falling in love this way was so cute. So yeah, I definitely recommend these novellas. I do every year, but this year they're like really hitting. Like, that was so cute. It made my commute so much better. Hello, it's Wednesday and I have a little library update. As you saw in the b-roll from yesterday, I stopped at the library after work, but it was just kind of too dark to film a whole spiel for you, so I'm doing it today. So first off, you did see I grabbed, is it Wuthering Heights or Withering Heights? Wuthering Heights? Is that how you say it? I'm uncultured, obviously this is a classic. I haven't read a classic, oh gosh, probably since high school when I read Pride and Prejudice for a book report. Classics really aren't my thing, and I think that's okay. But the previews for the movie really have me intrigued because it looks kind of weird. And I don't know, I kind of want to watch the movie when it comes out. I won't go see it in theater, so obviously I would have some time to read the book if I so choose. This is the copy that my library had, so I might kind of start trying to read a couple chapters of this a week and try to slowly read it. I don't know. If you've read this, let me know if it's worth it, or should I just watch the movie? I don't know. I'll probably try it and not get very far, but it was just sitting on the shelves. It's not on hold or anything, so I can probably renew it a few times if I need to, so we'll see. And then I did sign up for a blind date with a book through my library. I did this last year, and it wasn't quite successful for me, but I think I gave them too broad of a scope to pick books for me. They ended up picking a Tessa Bailey book that I already read and enjoyed, so that counts, that was accurate. And then they gave me What the River Knows, which is a romantasy, which I've heard great things about, but I have to be in such a specific mood to pick up a romantasy, and I wasn't last February, so I didn't read it. But this year, I literally said romances and thrillers because that is something that I could just pick up and be okay with. They did do 2 books again this year, and again, one of them was one that I already read, which is fine because then I don't have to try and read 2 of these books this month, so I'm okay with that. The first one, they did give me Deep End, and I knew right when I saw the sprayed edges, I knew what it was. I own this, I read it, I gave it 3 or 4 stars. I liked it, didn't love it. Pretty much all of Allie Hazelwood's books I like, don't love, except Bride. I loved Bride, but I don't have to read it, but it's a win. It's a win for the library because I read this and liked it, so we're gonna count it as a win. But the other book that they gave me, when I tell you, I was kind of mad because listen, this book is so well known and I've been putting off reading this book for years. I've avoided. I've looked the other way. I'm pretty sure it's depressing. I think I kind of know why it's depressing. I kind of peeked a little bit, but from the back you can kind of figure it out. But I've been putting this book off for years, literal years. When did this come out? 2016. I was in college when this came out. I've been putting it off for 10 years. And now she's being thrust into my life. I am gonna read it. I'm gonna read it next because if I don't read it next, I won't read it. And I do want to read it because I want to read my blind date with the book. I'm so nervous to read this freaking book. I think it's gonna break my heart. It's also YA, so it's just gonna be sad with some kissing, which is totally fine. I think they're 17 years old. But I'll take you along. It'll be in this vlog because I'm hoping, now we're just rolling right into a reading update. I'm hoping to finish Bluebird Gold tonight. I'm really liking it. I'm 60% of the way in. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I do assume, not the spice. The spice is picked up, but the mystery and the kind of bingeability of it has kind of slowed down a little bit, but I am liking it. The spice is good. I like the characters. But yeah, I think it's gonna pick up here in the last 40%. And it's a short book, it's 300 pages, so I have just a little over 100 pages to complete this book, and I really want to tonight because then then I get to pick up 1,000 Boy Kisses. This is also a fairly short book. It's like 335 pages. So thinking I could finish this weekend. We don't have many plans. And then I did download what seems to be a really fun, cute stalker Valentine's Day rom-com. So that'll be in the next vlog. I'm gonna keep that to myself until then. But yeah, I have some like really fun reading plans. I still want to get to a couple more of those Valentine's Day novellas too. I've read 3 of the 6 now. And that's all I have for you right now. I'm gonna read like a chapter of this right now. I have a meeting in, I don't even know what time it is, 50 minutes. So I'm gonna read a chapter or 2 of this and then make some lunch. And yeah, let's dive back into this. Happy Thursday. I wanted to pop on and let you know that I finished a book. Yay! I finished Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry, and I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's going to be a series. I feel like it doesn't need to be. It kind of felt like a standalone, so I don't know. But if it was a series, I would read another book for sure. But I really liked it. It was nice to read something a little bit different. It's like kind of a mature romance with a mystery between a sheriff and a school teacher, and he has like a kid in high school, and he's actually pretty mature too. The kid actually just likes the female main character, and there's like no drama there, and there's drama with like the kid's mom and this whole like mystery, which honestly did not go how I thought it was going to go at all. There was plenty of moments I was like, what? And I really liked that. It wasn't like a crazy dark mystery or anything like that. Like, it's not a dark romance, but the suspense and the mystery really were a fun factor. Sometimes that part annoys me, but it was actually really fun. And I liked that it was set in the 80s, so there was no like texting or like they had to use the landline, and like, I don't know, it was just good vibes, honestly. And like I said earlier, I was kind of picturing the male main character who is a sheriff with a mustache as like Charlie from Twilight. It worked for me. That was great. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and I would really recommend if you're looking for something different, if you read a lot like me, like a lot of sports romances. I just feel like sports romances can sometimes be a little immature because these guys are going to work every day with other men in the same field, and they have locker room talk, and they kind of just talk immaturely until they settle down with the love from the story or whatever. It was nice to read a more mature romance with this issue you're trying to like solve and figure out what is going on. And yeah, I really liked it. 4 stars. So up next for like the book that I'm going to be reading, it's gonna be 1,000 Boy Kisses. So wish me luck. Okay, hi. Really quick Friday night check-in. I've just been working on my diamond painting and listening to 1,000 Boy Kisses, and I'm 50% of the way in already. And this is so sad and heartbreaking, but like I'm enjoying it and I want to know what happens. But this is like totally Walk to Remember vibes. So if you know what that's about, I don't know if I really want to give spoilers. I mean, this book has been out for 10 years, so maybe I'll give a couple spoilers tomorrow, but this is just a really quick check-in. I'm liking it. I know it's going to break my heart. I've almost teared up a few times already, and yeah, it's just going to get worse. But I'm already 50% in. Libby had the audiobook available to download right away, so I did. So I've been listening to that, and it's really good. And yeah, I will cry at some point with this book. Hello, happy Valentine's Day. It is Saturday. I just ran and got coffee and donuts for me and my husband, and I wanted to do a quick little reading update because I'm 60% of the way into 1,000 Boy Kisses, and I'm liking it so much more than I thought I would. It is incredibly sad, and it's going to break my heart because I just can't have a happy ending. If you don't want to know anything about it, skip, but this has been out for like 10 years, so I'm gonna give you an overview with like spoilers, but I mean, you probably know what this is about by now if you read romance. Like, I kind of knew what it was about going into it. This follows Poppy and Rune, and they are childhood friends. They meet when they're 5 years old, and Rune is from Norway, and his family comes to the States. They live in Georgia, like on the same street as Poppy, so they become friends, and then they kind of, not even really just start dating, but they're kind of just in love with each other. Like, it just happened, and then they were kind of like, oh yeah, we're like together. And her grandma dies, like literally right in the beginning of the book. She's like 8, I think, and her grandma dies, and her grandma gives her this jar with like 1,000 paper hearts, and she's supposed to fill them out with 1,000 boy kisses from the boy she loves, like the love of her life, because her grandma's favorite memories were kisses from her husband, and Poppy always loved that little fact, and her grandpa was already dead in the beginning of this book. That's what her grandma gives her on her deathbed, is this jar of 1,000 boy kisses that she needs to have. And then they're like 15, I think, and Rune has to go back to Norway with his family for his dad's job, and of course he's like pissed, whatever, but he's like, I'll wait for you, like blah blah blah, whatever, we're so in love, whatever. And a couple months into the 2-year stint that they're apart, Poppy cuts him out and doesn't call back, doesn't respond, anything. And so obviously like Rune's pissed and doesn't understand why that happened, and he kind of goes down like a bad path in Norway or whatever. But then the dad gets a job back in Georgia, and they move back into the same house. They never sold the house. Poppy and Rune like reunite, and Rune is different and darker, and Poppy has cancer, and that's why she cut him off, because she thought it was saving him from hurt, but really, you know, it just gave them 2 less years of communication. But anyway, so then Rune's like really hurt, and he really like processes it pretty fast, and they just like get back together, kind of like they're taking it slow, but she only has like months to live, which is crazy. They're 17. It's just like very sad, and it's very sweet, and like I really like them as a couple, and it's just like giving me Walk to Remember vibes, and it's definitely YA, but that's making it really easy to like get through, and the audiobook is great. So yeah, I'm already 60% of the way through, and I think when I go back to the house, I'm going to listen to the audiobook and pick up a little bit. I'm gonna listen to more. I don't think I'll finish it today, but I'll definitely finish it tomorrow. But yeah, I know I'm gonna cry, I know I'm gonna be depressed, but I'm liking it way more than I thought I was going to. Like, I thought I was gonna be like, ugh, little YA depressing book. No, like, it's actually really good and like deep and sad, and I keep thinking too, like, since it's a book, you know, I'm like, maybe she'll get cured somehow, maybe there's a miracle. Like, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure she will be dead at the end of this book. There is a second book though, and I haven't looked into what that's about because I don't want to spoil myself completely. But yeah, I will definitely let you know what I think when I finish this, but I'm definitely considering this a win for my public library for my blind date with the book, because I am enjoying it. And I feel like this is something you need to read as a romance reader in this like era of time, and I'm finally reading it, so I can check it off the list. I did get a brownie batter heart donut because it is Valentine's Day and I felt like I had to, and they're really good. So I'm gonna go home and have breakfast with my husband and then continue listening to this depressing story for my Valentine's Day. Hello, I'm here to end off the vlog. I finished 1,000 Boy Kisses, which was my blind date with a book from my local public library. And did it rip my heart out? Yes. Did I like it? Yes. I'm giving it 5 stars. It's not like the most impressive writing ever, but it made me feel things, and I wanted to keep reading to see how it all wrapped up. I will say the epilogue, I don't know how I feel about the epilogue, honestly. I'm not gonna spoil the epilogue. I know I've like said some spoilers, but I don't want to say what happens in the epilogue. But if you've read it, I don't know if I liked that, but oh well, it's fine. I liked this. If you like A Walk to Remember, it's kind of like that. There is a death, so if you don't like sad books, don't pick this up, but it was really sweet, and I will probably read the second book. That came out in like 2024 and this came out in 2016, so she was like, you know what, it's time for some more money, so she wrote a second book about, I think it's about Poppy's sister. So yeah, I don't know, I would recommend this if you like a little sad book. It was really cute as well. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I'm giving it a 5-star. I'm very shocked at that. I didn't think I was gonna like this. I've been putting off reading this for 10 years. And you know what? I'm glad I read it. So I'm really thankful to the library for putting this in my blind date with the book. It's definitely something fun that they do. I think this is the second year they've done it. So yeah. It didn't really work out for me last year, but this year was a success. Support your local libraries. Even if you don't read the books, checking them out and being involved in little programs helps the library and helps with funding. So support your libraries. And with that being said, I am going to end off this vlog and actually start another one. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you'll subscribe and stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.